Hello, I'm Hat, and welcome to All Hat, No Cattle, AHNC for short. So today, we're looking at yet another Whitney video, my third. I know, you're tired of them, but this one begged to be made. In fact, it's a request from one of my longtime commenters, and I feel they deserved to have this one made. This video is an abomination. It is pure Whitney masturbation, calling herself the victim over and over again while playing pure lip service to people who may actually have some body shame issues. In fact, there are only 3 people in this video who would have actual body shame issues aside from Whitney. To be honest, I'm not even sure if body shame is really a thing. I think it's more of a projection. Call it whatever you like, Whitney is using these people to her own gains. As far as I'm concerned, she doesn't give a shit about anybody in this video but herself. With that said, let's get to it.
It's when they tell you, you have such a pretty face.
Yeah, she doesn't. Sorry. She's overweight, and that's not a pretty girl.
It's when they look at you and they ask, what are you?
Yeah, what are you? I mean, you're not overweight, and what's wrong with you? Let's look at this a little bit. Oh my God, he's got pink ear studs. What a fucking freak. He must get stares all up and down the block.
What are you? It's when they tell you to eat a cheeseburger or they want to know what.
A cheeseburger. She's got a tattoo. And she's thin.
What happened to you? It's when they.
Okay, let's back that up a little bit. Burn victim. All right. A shame, an absolute shame, and I'm sure a very painful experience for her. But it's not horrific, is it, Whitney? Yes, there's scarring. Yes, there's scarring. But, gosh, I've seen worse burn victims. I've seen people with their entire lips and nose burned off. Why is it that you pick someone who is more subtly burned? We'll get to that later.
It's when they try to sell you makeup and wrinkle creams because don't you want to fix it?
Yeah, because you've got smile lines. Oh my God. What the fuck?
It's when they want to know what's wrong. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, the guy's got gauges and a nose ring and a lip ring. Wow. What a fucking freak. Where is she getting these people? The discount freak store? Good Lord.
But there's no wrong way to have a body.
Yeah, there is. Your way. The Whitney Thore way. That is definitely the wrong way, sweetie.
We are more than the sum of our parts. We are more.
Okay, we had the tattoo lady again. And now we have a gentleman who's lost his left leg below the knee. And I tell you, if you're going to get an amputation, below the knee is your best bet. Artificial knees are hard to deal with. But look at it. It's carbon fiber. He's got what looks like either a stainless steel or a titanium support rod. This is state-of-the-art stuff. We'll see his ankle a little bit later, and you can tell this guy's got a good setup. Now, he would have been a great deal of pain, probably before and after the surgery. We don't know what caused this amputation, but it can never be good. And he had to go through a lot of painful and difficult physical therapy to get to the point where he could walk again. And these artificial limbs, they fit really well now, but sometimes they get a little offset and it really hurts your stump a lot. So this guy isn't by any way out of the woods, but he's doing a lot better than he did before the amputation. I can guarantee you that.
Than someone else's expectations of us. Don't let him tell you what you can't do. You are limitless.
Yeah, we tell our kids that, you can do anything you want, but no, you can't. Everyone has limits, Whitney. You have limits. You'd be dangerous in a revolving door. There you go. And you can't ski. You've proven that on your show. I hope everyone's seen the clip where she tries to just stand on a pair of skis and winds up doing the splits, screaming the entire time for someone to help her. How anyone could help a 400-pound woman keep from falling, I don't know, but she wanted it anyway. Right now, I think we're seeing limits.
I am Whitney Thore. I'm 30 years old. I'm fabulous. And I'm a dancer, and I'm a writer, and I'm a woman, a sister. I'm a friend.
I don't know how much you're dancing now, Whitney. I bet you were a lot better when you were only 300 pounds. I know, I'm just being catty. Excuse me. However, let's listen to this bit here. She says she's a writer. We'll get to that later. She's a friend. She's a sister. She didn't say she's a daughter. I don't know if that was a simple omission or if there's something more going on there. You'd think they would have caught that in the editing process and said, hey, Whitney, let's cut that part again and include the fact that you have parents.
Body shaming is debilitating. When I was younger, I suffered with body shame from the time I was 10 years old. I weighed 90 pounds.
Okay. Yeah, body shaming. 90 pounds at 10. I can understand that.
And I had eating disorders.
Okay, I had to stop there. She says she had eating disorders. Are you ever cured of an eating disorder? Does it just go away over time or with therapy? Or is it always underlying and you have to work against it? I'm thinking more the latter, although feel free to correct me in the comment section. I always welcome that. Here's the thing, though. In a previous video, she said she didn't have an eating disorder and that she wanted you to pretend as if she did so she could make her point. I remember that quite clearly. So which is it?
I didn't want to be seen in a bathing suit. I wouldn't wear shorts. And no one told me that I was beautiful. And
okay, no one told you you were beautiful. What if you weren't beautiful? Not all kids are pretty. Sure, parents will say something like, you're my little darling, you're my favorite princess. But if people aren't going to come up to you and say you're beautiful, maybe there's a point to that. Sometimes you have to grow into your skin, grow into your face. Not everyone is pretty when they're a kid. I know I'm being cruel, but still. Notice how this is all about her. This video is supposed to be about body shaming, but so far, she's not talking about anybody else. She's just shown a few flashes of people who, by any stretch of the imagination, have no shame. Really. So, this video is pure masturbation.
no one told me that I was okay. No one told me that I could be the best dancer, even if I wasn't the thinnest dancer.
Do you have to be the thinnest dancer in order to be the best? Of course not. Yes, I've seen some beanpoles who are exquisite dancers, but for the most part, professional dancers, really well-qualified, amazing dancers, have beautiful, lithe, well-muscled bodies. They have incredible range of motion. They have incredible strength, leaping abilities, things like that. You can't leap, Whitney. You can spin, sure. You can't do a pirouette either, though, can you? But you can't leap. They can leap. So maybe you weren't all that great of a dancer after all.
Later, I was diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome, and I gained eventually over 200 pounds.
Okay, my favorite part of her lies. PCOS can cause weight gain in about 2/3 of the women who contract it. But you don't gain 200 pounds because of it. I tweeted that out one day, and I got a like back from a well-qualified, highly thought-of physician out in California, and she thought my tweet was dead on. So maybe I've got something here, Whitney. Also, there are women who have commented on a couple of your videos on my channel who have said flat out they have PCOS and they did not gain all that weight. And you know why? They fought against it. They reduced caloric intake and they increased their exercise regime. That's all you got to do. You, on the other hand, went on the hard road. You decided to let the PCOS insulin resistance take control of your life. And remember, folks, the more weight you gain when you have PCOS, the higher your insulin resistance goes. And the higher your insulin resistance goes, the less likely your body is to burn the food you take in and convert it into energy. Instead, it will convert it into fat. So it's a vicious cycle. Whitney rode that cycle to the bank and then came back for another piece of meat.
And I was basically told by everyone that I didn't even deserve to live the way that I want to. I didn't deserve to be happy. I didn't deserve to pursue my passions. And I believed it. I bought that BS for a long time.
Sorry, blank frame. Let me back it up a little bit. Yeah, she bought that BS for a long time. She graduated from college and taught English in a number of foreign countries, especially East Asia. She traveled extensively. She had some of, as she has described them, the best times of her life. Now, when she was in places like Japan or Korea, I don't remember if she was in Korea. Anyway, she would be looked at on the street with disdain. And you know why? Those cultures don't tolerate morbidly obese people. They know it's unhealthy. They know it shows a lack of discipline. And that is not their culture. So she finally decided she'd had enough, and she moved back to the States. She got a job at a radio station where she wound up in a promotional video doing a dance routine. I think she did several, and one of them became viral. That launched her on the circuit of talk shows, morning shows. She wound up getting her own TV show with TLC called My Big Fat Fabulous Life, all the while weighing at the time over 300 pounds, and she has since gained weight quite nicely, according to anyone who's been watching. I don't see anywhere in there where she was told she couldn't do what she wanted to do. Once again, me, me, me. I'm a victim. I'm a victim. I'm a victim. Poor Whitney. Okay, there we go. There's the guy with the amputation. Did you notice in that short clip how he has no limp? So this thing is fitted perfectly. And look at that. You can just see the very top of the ankle joint in that. That is a state-of-the-art prosthetic. If he was wearing slacks, you would not know he had an artificial leg. Where's the body shame in that, Whitney? Obviously, he's wearing shorts just so you can show him off. Just so you can say, look at me. He's a victim, but I'm a victim too. He had his leg cut off, but I've gained hundreds and hundreds of pounds. I have my own TV show. I get to go on lecture circuits. I'm the victim here. Fuck you. Now, look at the right corner of the screen there, and look at Whitney's leg. She doesn't have an ankle. She has a crease. That is probably the worst case of cankles you will ever see. And notice her leg. That's not a leg. That's a hock of ham. Yet she is using these people as props for her no body shame campaign. And again, 2 piercings, and we saw a couple gauges earlier. Why is this guy in this picture? What the fuck does he have to do with any of this body shaming shit?
I think as individuals, we all have a reason that we're here on the earth, and it's not to look a certain way.
Why is she in this picture? Again, she's got some laugh lines. She's got perfect teeth. What the fuck, Whitney? I swear to God, this is the most low-rent, absolutely insulting piece of video propaganda I've probably ever seen outside of CNN and the Young Turks.
It's not to gain someone else's approval. It's not so that someone else can look at my body and...
Right, look at my body. Does this woman have a lot of tattoos, folks? Or does she have a few? A few fairly tasteful tattoos, if you're into the skull stuff. I mean, that's nice work. That is really nice ink. But it's not everywhere. If she wore a higher neck shirt, you wouldn't even see that chest tattoo. And the arm tattoos? Okay, the right side, fairly extensive on the upper arm, but really not anything on the forearm. And then on her left side, there's a small tattoo just below her elbow. This woman is not tatted up like some people I've seen. She is fairly restrained. She doesn't even have a sleeve, for crying out loud.
Be pleased by it. That's what we're told every single day, is that we're supposed to be a certain thing and meet an expectation, and then we're...
Meet an expectation. Seriously. How many times through the day, folks, does someone walk up to you and say, wow, you really should stop doing what you're doing. You should really be something else, and I'm going to tell you what you should be. Seriously. If someone's telling her that stuff, it's because she needs to know. Once again, look at that woman on her right. Why is she in this frame? She's a little overweight, but she's not as fucking huge as Whitney. Look at their thighs. Those two thighs on the woman on Whitney's right have as much mass as one of Whitney's thighs. Unfucking believable.
Worthy, but I was put here for a lot of different reasons, and so was everybody else.
Okay, those two pictures before, nothing to see there, folks, nothing to see. Now we're back to the burn victim. Pure exploitation here. This woman has no other reason to be here than to prop up Whitney's bullshit narrative. If this woman has body shame, okay, but she's gone through a horrible experience. Those are third-degree burn scars. That is an incredibly painful injury. She had to go, I'm sure, months of skin debridement, skin grafts, and physical therapy in order to keep those skin grafts from becoming so tight that she couldn't move her neck. She probably has to do stretching exercises every day and apply cream to keep those grafts from tightening up. That is a victim. Whitney is a victim of her own gluttony and her own narcissism. She deserves nothing less than disapproval.
We have one life to live, and in that life, you have to...
These kids don't have body shame. These kids don't have anything wrong with them. Again, they're merely here as props to make Whitney look compassionate and down with the kids. Fucking bullshit.
Pursue your health, your happiness, your passions, whatever you want. You have to know that right now, there is nothing holding you back, and certainly not your body.
Whitney, your body is holding you back. You can't be the dancer you want to be because you're so fucking overweight. You are limited by your own hand. Or hands, depending on how you eat.
No body shame.
No body shame. Look at your body, Whitney. Now, should you be ashamed of yourself? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know if that's a healthy emotion, so I'm not going to push you into that direction. However, you should have more self-respect. You should have the ability to realize that you are going to deny your family and your friends the ability to know you for a long time. Because you're not going to last with that body, Whitney. You don't see 70-year-old women looking that big. They don't make it. I wanted to stop right here. Here's her No Body Shame campaign URL. Go if you like. I'm not going. Look at the logo, though. Do you see what I see? Upper right corner there, that's a head. Below that, crossed arms. Below that, lower left, a really fat body. That's Whitney's body, folks. That's their logo. A morbidly obese person. Nothing about burn victims, nothing about amputees, who are the only two people in that video who could have even a shred of body shame directed at them. No, this is about fat women. Notice there wasn't a fat man in that video anywhere. Not one. It's all about fat women, folks. That's all Whitney cares about. Everyone else in that video was pure window dressing. So here's Whitney's book. I Do It With the Lights On, and 10 more discoveries on the road to a blissfully shame-free life. Hardcover. Someone help me here. That colon doesn't look like the appropriate punctuation right there. I think that should be a comma, and then and should not be capitalized, as this is a compound sentence. Explain to me in the comments if I'm wrong, please. Looking at the prices here, hardcover, $7. $7 for a hardcover book is cheap. So we've got 109 reviews, 4.5 out of 5 stars. That's a little suspicious to me. That is a huge percentage of very positive reviews. If you look, 3-star reviews are only 10%. I don't see that as being proper. Let's just put it that way. Again, I could be wrong. Tell me in the comments how wrong I am. So, top customer review. Here's a 3-star. I love Whitney's show. But this book is a slow read. Had to force myself to finish it. It does have a great message for positive body image. And now, a 5-star review right under that. This book was hard to pick up, but impossible to put down. I loved the straightforward way she talks to you. It has really got me thinking about who I am as a person and not who I am because of my weight. Thank you, Whitney, for opening my eyes. Okay, it seems the common thread between these two reviews is her body positivity message. Okay, fine. That's what she's supposed to be doing. However, complete opposites in the way the book reads. The 3-star review calls it a slow read, had to force myself to finish it. And then the 5-star review, hard to pick up, but impossible to put down. I don't know what she means by hard to pick up, though. I will say one other thing. That reference to the message helping the woman not look at herself as just her weight. Personally, I think the message should be, I want to be better, I want to be healthier, I want to lose this weight. I don't want to feel good about myself and be fat at the same time. Seek to better yourself. But the other thing is, Whitney's message seems to only be towards fat people. In the video, she's comparing herself to burn victims, amputees, and a woman who has some tattoos and a guy who has 2 fucking piercings. Seriously. It doesn't seem like that's her target audience, though, that she's trying to help people who are seen as a little too different than the norm. Maybe I'm way off base, but every time I've seen her talking about body positivity, it's been to young kids, usually late teens, early 20s, who are well overweight, and almost invariably women. I don't see a lot of amputees in the audience. So there you have it. This was an infuriating piece of work, not only because it used extremely false comparisons to make Whitney look like she's also a victim on par with burn sufferers and amputees. And really, a guy with 2 piercings, a woman with a number of tattoos, but it's not like she's got tattoos on her face or full sleeves even, a not unattractive middle-aged woman, and then a couple kids, a couple normal fucking kids. What do they have to do with body positivity? Really, what do any of them have to do with body positivity except the amputee and the burn victim? So yeah, incredibly lazy. And as I said in the video, I think she's doing that so as to not draw too much attention away from herself. So people won't be looking at the people sitting next to her and paying more attention to them than they are to Whitney. Please tell me what you think in the comments below. One bit of housekeeping. I'm going to be gone for about a week, so if I don't get to your comments right away, please don't worry. I will be checking them as often as I can, and once I get back to the land of true internet connections, I will answer everything as quickly as possible. That's it for today. Be well, and as always, thank you for your attention.